Hello, once again, superstars. My name is Aaron. I'm the CEO of Inflatable Pool Furniture, and this is the Superpod Saga. That's right, Superpod Saga. The show you're listening to right now is the vanilla ice of podcasts. That's for sure. We've got a great episode planned today. Great topic and everything. Let's introduce some guests since Tommy's no longer with us. Rip Tommy. First up, we have a returning guest. Well, both are returning guests. Bill, how's it going, Bill?
Hey, Aaron. It's me again, everybody. I'm just like a permanent fixture at this point.
I mean, at this point, yeah, there's going to be a lot of returning faces since once again Tommy is. We'll say, no, what happened to Tommy? What happened to Tommy, guys?
His AI crashed.
There we go.
I think Tommy is on a quest to find his Steam Deck. I think that's really what's happening.
If anyone asks, just say he blue screened.
I swear to God, he had maybe that Steam Deck that he had and then suddenly lost is what contained the core to his AI or something.
But
man, that's so sad.
Well,
yeah, you guys can find me at my 3 podcasts because I'm a masochist. I've got Gaming and Collecting. That's a gaming and anime based nostalgia podcast I do with my sister Alex, where we talk about a whole bunch of different topics over our episodes. Sometimes anime, sometimes gaming, sometimes completely unrelated to either. I also have the 3DO Experience. That is a 3DO retrospective podcast where me and my co-host Thrak, we talk about the 3DO console, the company behind it, and all the things in between. Like, we try to cover a different game every week. Sometimes, like last week, we talked about controllers for the system. Other weeks, we just shoot the shit about random bullshit. It's fun.
Nice.
And then my third show is kind of a spin-off of GNC. It is called Geek Addicts, and it is a nostalgia pop culture podcast I do with my one of my friends, Matt, where we just talk about basically anything ranging from anime, games, books, pop culture, comics, all sorts of stuff.
Nice. I don't know how the hell you do any of that. I can barely manage just the one.
I literally recorded an episode of Geek Addicts right before we're doing this.
That's what I assumed when you said you were wrapping a few things up.
Yeah. So if my voice is a little hoarse, that's why.
It's great having you back, of course. And we also have another returning face, Chris. How are you doing, man?
I am fucking exhausted. I feel like I blew out my back and my legs at the same time, and I have no idea how that happened. So booze it is.
Booze it is. Yeah, go ahead and tell the wonderful listeners where they can find your show or social medias, all that great stuff.
Yeah. So I'm Chris from A Novel Console. It's a podcast that I host with my wife where we talk books, games, food, and stuff that caught our attention during the week. We basically just talk books, games, and food. Other than that, you can find me pretty much on every social media platform under at A Novel Console. And I'm very excited to talk about today's topic. Also, Aaron, how did you manage to get the ABCs of podcasting here? You got Aaron, Bill, and Chris. Like,
Oh,
wow.
who do we know? That's a D. Oh,
Dave.
Dave.
There's multiple Daves.
Who do we know? It's an E. We
Eric?
could almost do this, Eric.
Eric.
We could almost do the whole, well, maybe not the whole alphabet, but a good portion of it. I don't think we know any Z's or X's.
Who would be an F?
That's a good question.
Frank, deleted saves.
Oh, okay.
F. G, Jerry.
Jerry.
Super Ghost.
Jerry.
H. Ooh, I don't.
Do we know an H?
Let me go through Discord.
H.
H.
We have to keep this joke going.
We do. Chris, help.
H.
H. Damn.
H.
That's a good one.
I swear there's an H.
There has to be an H.
C.
There's got to be some podcaster friend of ours just screaming right now. My name starts with an H. My name is Henry or Hank or.
Fuck! I can't find a single H, man.
I don't even know an I. What about I?
Ooh, I don't know an I. Maybe it
Isn't there
stops
an
right there.
Ivan or something.
I mean,
No.
Jay, we could do Josh from Still Loading Podcast.
Yeah, I think the joke ends
Yeah.
there.
Got killed by H. God damn it.
So now Aaron's mission is going to be to find one person that starts with each letter, and then at the end of the year, just get us all together to do one episode. How many
Oh,
letters are in the alphabet? Like 27?
I think isn't it 24?
I graduated elementary school a long time ago.
Yeah, but you graduated more recently than we did.
I'm
Yes.
going through.
I'm also drinking right now.
Okay,
going through
26 letters.
Oh, 26. Okay.
None of us were right.
Oh, H.
Man, we're awful.
I'm scrolling through the Superpod Saga website, desperately trying to find an H. I don't remember ever talking to like a Henry. No, Harrison. Grief burrito. There we go.
Oh.
H. As for
I.
I though, we're fucked. I don't know. Like
Oh,
Isabel.
I was gonna say. I just thought about it. HJ from Infinite Level show.
Oh. Yeah,
I
I
haven't
don't
heard
know.
from him. I haven't heard from him in a while. Actually, now that I think about it.
I think it still stops there though. We don't have any eyes. We have Isaac, Ivan, Isabel, fucking Igloo,
Ignatius.
Ignatius.
Ignatz, that character from Fire Emblem.
Holy shit! Today we're talking about a series that pretty much influenced this whole podcast. Definitely the name and the cover art and all that stuff, but the Mario and Luigi series. Tommy and we bonded over this game a long time ago, back in I think middle school. That sounds about right because I think it came out in like 2003 or something, and it's been a shared love of ours. Tommy and I have really really different tastes in games, like comically different tastes, but this game we always agree upon. He always says this one's better than like Bowser's Inside Story. I like Bowser's Inside Story more. We fight about it sometimes, but yeah, what do you guys what are your guys' memories or like thoughts and feelings about the whole Mario and Luigi series?
Um, I love this series, even though I played the first one second out of all of them. Um, I played Partners in Time first, so I have a lot of things to say about that game when we
Oh
get to it.
man.
I love this series though. This was actually like so I always say like Final Fantasy VIII was my introduction to RPGs. Tales of the Abyss is what got me hooked on RPGs, and then Mario and Luigi was what made me truly love RPGs.
Nice.
Yep, and I've played them all basically since.
I feel like this is Nintendo's biggest wasted potential. This series has so much potential to be massive, like almost Mario levels of massive, and Nintendo just, I don't know if they didn't care or what, but they kind of just let it just fall. Especially with that last remake of Bowser's Inside Story. Why remake a game from the DS on the 3DS? I mean, the Switch was right there. It would have been perfect on
Why
Switch.
why remake a game on the 3DS that was playable on the 3DS with backwards compatibility?
Exactly.
It was I get it was the second most popular game in the series, but there's so many questions there that will
Yeah,
Right.
never be answered.
never be answered. I can't help but wonder if since since Alpha Dream is closed now back in 2019, I can't help but wonder if they'll ever hand the series off to a different developer and have them make it, or if it was like if it's just dead and buried with Alpha Dream, because I feel like they yeah, like there is a lot of fucking potential with this. They could do a lot, especially on the Switch. Not necessarily with like it doesn't need motion controls or like anything like that, but yeah, there's just a lot they could do, but they didn't, and it's
I
so fucking sad.
I talked about it with my buddy Schnickerman. He's a frequent collaborator on my podcast. We had talked about it, basically saying like they could hand off the series to another studio theoretically, but I don't think they'd have the same writing staff that makes this series so iconic. Like we'll get into it later, but
Yeah,
the writing of this series is part of why it's so like well regarded.
Right. But who remade Mario RPG?
That was Artie Piazza, the company that did they remade the
The Dragon
Dragon
Quest games.
for
Yeah.
DS. They've done a ton of stuff.
They remade the
S-
the two Dragon Quest games for 3DS also.
Yes.
So they're a very talented group, obviously, because they have a bunch of bangers under their belt. I think they could probably handle Mario and Luigi if they get the right writers for their
Yeah.
stories.
That's the key because like a lot of people have said, why not just get Intelligent Systems to do it? And I'm like, Intelligent Systems can barely make their own games at this point. So, like, let's be real here. The best Fire Emblem in a while is the one that they barely made. So,
Oh yeah, who did they have to bring on for it? It was like Ninja Theory or some
no,
shit.
no. Koei Tecmo made the
Mm,
majority of Three Houses because
yeah,
I believe Intelligent Systems was too busy making Origami King time,
Jesus Christ.
Oh, oh,
which,
that gross.
I mean, it's sad too because Origami King. This is not related to Mario and Luigi, but Origami King was such a step up compared to the previous two, but it's still not there yet.
That's another
Uh,
sad, unfortunate thing with Mario RPGs now is that they were really fucking good there for a while. Like you started with the original Super Mario RPG, and then you get to Superstar Saga,
I think
and
Paper
then
Mario was first.
oh, it was like before Superstar Saga.
Yeah, the
yeah, Paper
N64 one.
Mario was
Oh
64
fuck,
in 2000, I
yeah,
think.
doop, doop, doop. We're getting there. We're getting higher. Kind of dipped down a little bit with Partners in Time, possibly, and then went right the fuck back up with the Bowser's Inside Story, and then Thousand Year Door, and then
Well, Thousand Year Door was before. I think Thousand Year Door was before Partners in Time, honestly.
what the fuck?
Yes, because I
Oh, that
played
looks yeah,
Partners in Time after I graduated college. And I remember being like
2005.
in high school and my buddies were playing Thousand Year Door.
Yeah, because the Paper Mario at that point was Super Paper Mario, which it's a repetitive game, but it has the best story in the Paper Mario series. I will stand on that bridge regardless.
Is that the platformer?
That's the 2D one that it's still technically an RPG, but it's more of a platformer than an RPG. But it has by far the best, arguably the best story in an Mario RPG.
I wonder if they'll ever start making more Mario RPGs. 'Cause I think, no, they haven't made. They
They
haven't
haven't
made a
made
new
an
one in
original. The last
fucking.
original one they made was Origami King.
If you even want to call that an RPG though, because you don't gain experience from battles, do you? You just gain like coins to buy items and shit.
Yeah, it's better than Color Splash, but it's still not quite there yet.
God, we should do a another episode on the Paper Mario series because man, that yeah, that was another like I guess like a roller coaster. Good, good, not too great, and then just
It's more
plummet.
good, flatline. The only reason I say flatline is because that story is that good, and then just like to the Earth's core, essentially. Because my God, Sticker Star is for another podcast. I don't
Yeah.
even want to get into it right now.
So we'll I've got the whole timeline of the Mario and Luigi series pulled up. Thank you, Wikipedia, by the way. So in the year 2000, the great Y2K Alpha Dream is founded. And then 2003, we get Superstar Saga, Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. Man, look at that cover art.
It's
Um,
it's weird because the Japanese version is more based around like the style they started using with Bowser's Inside Story onward.
looking it up right now. Japanese box art. Yeah, that is. Oh yeah, and that's right. They're always called Mario and Luigi RPG or whatever.
Yeah. Um,
Man, that's cool. That's a
fun,
really fucking cool cover.
fun thing about Alpha Dream, a lot of their people actually came from Squaresoft, and a lot of them actually worked on Mario RPG.
That makes a lot of sense.
That's cool. You can see a lot of or in Superstar Saga, you can see a lot of I guess what the Mario RPG laid as like a foundation for the game. It still used all like the light platforming aspects, which I
Mm.
guess it wouldn't be Mario without like a little bit of platforming. And then it's got like the action commands and combat and shit like that. Um, yeah, playing the remake really drilled that into my brain that like, hey, Mario and Luigi wasn't the first fucking I guess game to do this kind of thing. It was all about Mario RPG.
Mario and Luigi, though, refined it to a point of arguably one of like the greatest combat systems in all of RPGs. Like, there's just something fascinating about an RPG where if you are good enough at the combat, you will never get hit.
That's true.
Like,
Yeah.
that's just a really cool idea. I mean, it's not easy to do. Like, have you guys ever tried a no hit run?
I don't think I
Never.
I
no.
tried it
Not good
once.
enough.
It's hard. It
It's
is
tough enough to
really
beat
hard.
Cacletta sometimes, dude.
Yeah.
That bitch.
Do you guys remember the commercial for Superstar Saga?
The what?
The original commercial on TV?
Oh, not at all.
It was the one where it
No.
was like the two kids cosplaying as Mario and Luigi, and they were just like in a backyard in like a sandbox, and they were just trolling each other the entire time, doing like moves from the game, like the bro moves and stuff.
Oh my god, that sounds awesome.
It was that commercial stuck with me for years, and it's funny because I didn't get Superstar Saga until like around like 2007.
I weirdly enough, I came across this game at okay, so growing up in very rural Iowa, we didn't have very many places to buy games. Like if we wanted to buy a new game, we would either have to drive 15 minutes, no, 15 to like 30 minutes to Walmart. And I think that's about it cuz like I don't think we had GameStops back in like no, we probably did have GameStop back in like 2003 or whatever, but um so in the tiny town that I grew up in, there was this store called Pomida, and it was this like grocery store, but it also had video games in it. And that's where I discovered Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. They also had Metabots. I got Metabots from there. What else did I get from that store? There was something else too. Oh, there was maybe that was where I got. Oh yeah, I got that Beyblade PS1 game that sucks ass.
Yep.
Um, but no, yeah, it was.
I thought you were for a second. I thought you were going to say the Beyblade games on GBA, which are just Marble Madness and are actually fun.
No. I got the
The
no,
PS1 one, yeah.
yeah, the PS1 ones that were fucking. What a great launch! What a great launch! That's the entirety of the game. um,
That just sounds awful on so many levels.
dude, I'll make a video out of that fucking shit. I need a new game to record gameplay for on our YouTube channel. I'll do that because it sucks.
Yeah.
So
Man.
so you got it at that store. That's the first time you ever heard of it or saw it or anything
Yeah,
at all?
yeah. I had no idea this game existed until I saw it at that grocery store. I mean, I knew, of course, that Mario existed because we had
Right.
Mario on like fucking every system. But I was like, Mario and Luigi, this is weird. And then
So
I
you never saw the. I'm amazed you never saw the commercial because they played that thing
no,
24/7 back in the day.
maybe I did see it and I just don't remember it. But I mean, we only had like regular ass TV, so I don't know if it showed on like Fox or NBC or CBS or whatever the regular fucking playing channels are.
You guys are older than me too, so and I was watching much younger TV at that point, so maybe they just played it more on those channels.
Maybe like what
Yeah.
channels? What? Or did you have like cable growing up? Was it on like Cartoon Network or some shit?
Probably Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, stuff like that.
I remember seeing the Legacy of Goku, the first game's ad, where the kid comes out of the van with Super Saiyan hair at the end of the ad. I do remember that one, but I want to say that I remember the Mario and Luigi one because it kind of does sound familiar. Kids dressed as Mario and Luigi doing power moves on each other. That kind of does sound familiar, but
It was during the era of Nintendo commercials before the Wii showed up where and they sterilized every commercial
right,
they
it's
did.
we like to play.
Yeah. Back when like you had like wacky shit like that Kirby DS commercial with Kirby hanging out with the finger.
Kirby
Oh,
with the
dude.
finger.
Or that one Smash Bros commercial where they're just beating the shit
Oh,
out of each
the
other.
best commercial ever with Happy Together playing in the
Yeah, dude.
background.
Now that you said the Kirby and the finger, you remember when Nintendo for a while had the slogan "It's okay to touch."
Yep. What a commercial.
Oh my god.
It's like- oh man, can of worms they opened.
Now that you mention it, I can't recall like any video game commercials. No, no, Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland because it had this that was on GBA. I'm pretty sure GBA or Wii or something. It had this really fucking catchy song where it was like Nightmare in Dreamland, Kirby, Nightmare in Dreamland. So I've got that at least.
Yeah,
Bill sent the video over on Discord. Yeah, just seeing the intro, I remember this ad.
it was.
I remember watching it. Yeah.
This was like a different era of Nintendo back when they were like actually willing to try things, like before they sterilized for like a couple of years there before the Switch.
Yeah, I don't remember this fucking ad at all, dude. This is so foreign to me.
See, I remember seeing this ad. I think this might have been in that era where I was a teenager and I hated everything new that I saw. And I probably hated it because it was different Mario. Um, I do remember the first time that I saw this game, like actually saw it being played, was probably in middle school by this. I think I must have been like 14 and the kid might have been like 12 and I saw the game. I was like, "Oh, let me try it." And he just let me borrow the game for like a week straight. I don't even know
Hell
who
yeah.
this kid was, his name or anything. And I remember putting some time into it and it was a lot of fun. Actually, I think I beat it before I gave it back to him.
That
Uh,
was some of the best shit in like middle school and high school days. Was just like, hey, this game looks cool. Can I borrow that? Yeah, bro. Do you have a game I can borrow? Hell yeah, I do. And then you just swap games for like a month. I had
See
that a
now,
lot
yeah.
with the one I remember for sure was I let a buddy borrow Fire Emblem the Sacred Stones, and I borrowed oh fuck, what was it? Golden Sun the Lost Age. There we go.
that's
Which
hilarious nowadays, considering these
oh
games are
man,
like you can buy a small fortune with some of these games.
Oh god, yeah.
right. Right. What is it? A Ninja 50. You can probably put a down
Jesus
payment on a house with
Christ.
that game.
I mean, the Fire Emblems on GBA alone are like $100 probably at this point. So,
Like loose or complete in box?
uh completed box definitely. Loose,
Yeah, I don't even know why I asked that.
loose. I don't know. um,
Fuck.
they're still worth a pretty penny loose. So,
Oh yeah.
Man, if I kept all of the games I owned. Oh god. All right.
Oh man.
Yeah, so Superstar Saga, it's man, what a fucking game though. Like I remember playing this for the first time and I had played Golden Sun and I think maybe a couple other RP. Yeah, I'd of course played a few Final Fantasies on the PS1 and it was so different to like to one have to dodge instead of just like taking the hits like other RPGs do. You just take the hit and that's whatever. But it was also so weird to like what Mario was A and Luigi was B, like all the action commands you had to do for their like bros moves where it was like Mario jumps on Luigi, Luigi throws Mario, and then Mario does a cool spin move and then blam, max damage and shit like that. That was so new to me back in the day, and that's what really made me love this fucking series is just how new it felt compared to other RPGs at the time.
these these sprites to me are quite possibly the probably the most iconic Mario sprites in existence.
I have to agree. Um, you guys remember Super Mario Bros. C,
Oh yeah,
where it's the sprites of Superstar Saga and the
What?
sprites of Sonic Battle Arena or whatever it was called for the GBA, and they would like have Dragon Ball Z style fights.
yeah. Like it was nuts. Like that series, I remember. Like you'd watch like
What the fuck?
each episode,
Have
and
you
they'd go.
never seen this?
No, never.
Oh my god. Sorry, Bill. What were you saying?
I was just gonna say, like, each episode was legit like a Dragon Ball episode, and it was like insanity.
Right? Like the first episode is Mario fighting Bowser in this Dragon Ball Z style fight where they're both flying and beating the shit out of each other. It looks so cool and it's so fast. It's great. And
It
then
was
later
never.
on in the series, there's like a Power Ranger type group of characters that they all fight with Shadow and Sonic.
Oh, the
It's
Axum Rangers. They were from Super Mario RPG.
see, I've never played Mario RPG, so I wouldn't know that.
Yeah, it was a that was a little reference to like Mario RPG because they like tried to add elements because I think the Koopa brothers from Paper Mario also show up at one point.
Yes, they do. I thought that they were the Axum brothers. I thought that they were character models from Mega Man Zero with different heads on them, because that's what they kind of look like to me.
I think the bodies might be, but the heads are from Mario RPG.
I see. Okay, that makes sense. Aaron, if you haven't watched it, you need to. That shit is fantastic. It's like
It-
4 hours long, and it's worth every second.
It was never finished though. Sadly, the creator ended up having
Yeah.
like a mental breakdown and never finished it.
Oh,
He restarted the whole series again. Like he started reanimating everything to actually get it all done, and he just did like the first episode.
Yeah, and then he got C&D'd by Nintendo.
Fucking
of course,
Nintendo.
dude. God
Right.
damn it. Yeah, you're not kidding about those sprites though. Those fuckers are like
Every
iconic.
every Newgrounds animation used them back in the day.
I love the when you're waiting to input a move or whatever for a character in Mario and Luigi, you're just like,
Yeah, doing their little dances.
Dancing.
yeah, dude, that's the best.
I
Or,
love I love the Italian gibberish that they say during the games.
Yeah.
Like whenever they're talking like that babo or whatever.
See, in Partners in Time, my favorite is whenever anybody says baby. It's like baby.
I really love like
Mm.
it's a really small stupid detail, but I love like when you use an item, they'll throw it in the air and then they'll gulp it and you can see it like gulping down their throat or whatever, and then they're just like like that's cool. They didn't need to do that, but that's cool.
That's where we that's where we got Super Nut from.
That's true. That art style, it was so good. I feel like the games lost something whenever they went to the 3DS and they started doing that pseudo 3D, not
Mhm.
pixel art looking art style. I feel like it lost its personality when they did that.
It lost a little bit. I still like those sprites though, in a way.
But do you prefer them over the originals?
I prefer the look of the originals, but I don't hate the new ones, I guess.
Like right. I don't hate them, but if you gave me the opportunity to choose between the original Bowser Sensei story and the remake, I'm going to choose
Well,
the original because I
that-
feel like it looks a whole lot better.
That's a night or day one. Superstar Saga, we'll get to it when we talk about the remake, but
Yeah.
so I have a fun question to ask. So the opening of the game after like you do your tutorial fight with Bowser and you learn about Peach's explosive vocabulary. I love that joke, by the way. Like when she like says the massive text thing and then the castle blows up. And like whenever she says a word, like they run off screen and then the bombs drop and then they come back and continue the conversation. So there's a point when you're in Toad Town before you go to the Bean Kingdom and you're like kind of getting a bunch of items, like learning how to jump, typical tutorial stuff. And there's this like lone Koopa Troopa who's like lost, and you can like direct him how to get to Bowser's airship. And one of the you can either tell him to head directly to the airship, you can make him get completely lost, or you can make him run into the wall. And he'll just keep running into the wall no matter how many times you tell him to run into the wall. So I would just make him run into the wall repeatedly because you could.
Jesus Christ.
Am I the only one that did this?
True chaotic evil.
Well, it was like I was a kid and I was like, ooh, he ran into the wall. Will he do it again? Ooh, he did it again. Make him keep doing it. He never learns.
Isn't the first one where Mario goes off on an adventure and Luigi just kind of like gets dragged on by accident?
Luigi
to his
Luigi
ship?
was just there to wave goodbye. Like he's standing there with his hat going like bye bye. And then Bowser's all like, "Oh, you really want to be on my crew that badly? All right, I guess we'll take you." And he's like, "No, no, no!" And then he starts running away. And they're like, "It's like Lord Bowser, we have a deserter." He's like, "God damn it!" And they go and capture him. That's how Luigi ends up on the journey.
And they keep referring to him as Green Mario, or they're like,
Mr.
oh,
Mr. Green
and Luigi.
Yeah,
Luigi
Like
too.
every time they compliment Luigi, they do it with a backhand compliment every time.
Yeah, they
Like
treat
they either say
Luigi
something
like
about his mustache or something.
Luigi gets treated like absolute dog shit in this series.
He does just as much as Mario throughout the whole fucking thing. Like it's Mario and Luigi, bro.
There's when you're in the Bowser's airship and they're like teaching you how to do like the bro jumping commands. They have Mario jump and they're like, "Wow, very impressive, Mario." And then Luigi jumps and he's like, "Hey, I don't want to say anything, but that was kind of lame. Do you think you could maybe do better?" And it was
Oh my
like,
God.
Jesus.
That's great.
Poor dude's been to hell and back.
Also, the taking your passport photos. Did you guys fuck up the photo as much as
All the
possible?
time. Every single time.
Yep.
Every fucking single time, dude.
I love how you can like they have the line of Koopa Troopas going to get their photo taken, and you can talk to them. They're like, "Hey, no cutting," or like whatever. Get in line, cutters, or whatever.
One of my favorite parts of the game is the fucking coffee shop. 'Cause
Oh,
yes.
I love like pseudo cooking mechanics. Oh, I love cooking mechanics in games, but this one is just like you just mix beans and poop out of coffee. But
there
I
was
love-
also a storyline where like each time you made a new drink, you'd have a new EGAD cutscene where he'd like something weird would happen.
yeah,
Wasn't it originally that there were supposed to be a bunch of Nintendo characters that showed up? Like
I
you
think
would have
so.
Samus and Fox and Ness and shit coming up to get the coffee.
I think so, but they edited that out and just made it. They incorporated some Luigi's Mansion references. They had Luigi ride the Portugalgeist 3000 at one point.
I see.
that'd have been so weird to have Samus in Superstar
like-
Saga.
There's like stills of like Samus showing up or like a little fox showing up and stuff like that.
Yeah, I
What
think
the fuck?
I feel like that was a great idea that they dummied out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So speaking of characters, we have the end of the Bowser's airship segment introduces us to quite possibly one of the greatest characters in Mario history,
Fawful?
Fawful.
Yeah, dude. What is it? What was his shtick? Like, I have chortles or whatever, or like,
He's insane. That's just like
what's his line though? It's like,
Oh,
I have something.
I have fury.
I have fury. There we go. And then he's just like
he
chortles.
he calls you Fink Rat a lot.
Yeah, Fink Rat. Yeah, Fawful is great.
When he loses his headgear, he's like, "Now I'm gonna ram you," and he just runs into you.
Jesus Christ.
He's just insane. It's like that's like legit his shtick, and it's like he's just fun.
Man, I need to replay these damn games.
Dude, they're so fun. And then they have those like very slight Metroidvania elements, like you get the elemental powers where like Mario gets fire, Luigi gets lightning, and you can do shit with that, or like you smack Luigi into the ground, or you smush Mario into a pancake or whatever.
You light Luigi on fucking fire, or
Yeah, dude.
paralyze Mario with thunder.
The platforming with the bros abilities is very clever. I really like that.
You like having to time out the two jump commands at the same time.
Right, because like Aaron said, it kind of turns it into somewhat of a Metroidvania where you can't even just get like an item or a special bean or whatever because you're missing an ability. And when you get them and you get the whatever, it just, at least for me, it gave me that Metroidvania feeling of, oh shit, I can explore more, I can do more.
I can collect more beans now and
Right.
go make more fucking coffee, dude.
And like the thing is, like, you see like this ability where you have a gap that you have to cross, And in a regular Metroidvania, you would get like a long jump or a double jump or whatever. No, in this one, Mario jumps on top of Luigi, and they jump into a tornado and get to the other side.
Yeah,
Oh, yep.
Like
it is.
it's cartoony and cutesy and adorable, and it fits Mario perfectly. Like I really like that.
Like even in battle, like one thing that I love about Superstar Saga that none of the other games kept was the bros moves, which were like Street
Yep.
Fighter moves that like you'd have to do like quarter circles and shit to like properly like do them, but they were all so fucking fun, and like you could like learn special advanced combos. I like just
Yeah.
like randomly in the middle. Like
Yep.
I'd love it. You'd be
After
mid
using them
battle,
so often.
and then Mario would just all of a sudden stop and be like,
Aha!
like
Yeah.
advanced. And then you'd have to learn the advanced version of it, which was always like trickier, but more rewarding in the end.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I had for Superstar Saga.
Well, we got to talk about the soundtrack.
Oh, that battle theme, dude. Dun, 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 dun. It's forever just ingrained into my brain.
I have
That
the
and,
Bean Castle theme forever in my head, like the
or like
that
the
one.
victory theme. I really like that too. Dun, 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 dun. And then they're just hanging out. They're just like, yeah.
There's also a great scene in one of my favorite moments in this game, which is really funny because it's also super fucked up. Is there when you go up to the little Bean town, which is like the Mushroom Kingdom refugees living in the Bean
Oh
Kingdom.
yeah. Yep.
There's a point in that where like Mario gets bean fever, which is like this bizarre thing. Basically, it was an excuse to lose Mario for a portion of the game, and Luigi has to go find this cure to save him. And before he goes off, they tell him that there's this evil thing that could kill him, and he gets legit traumatized, and he legit can't jump anymore. He just shakes around. That's his movement.
Oh yeah.
And you have to go to this random like Kamek wizard to get like Luigi's courage back. And there's like this cool scene where like Luigi looks in the mirror, and the mirror opens, and it's his character model, but he looks like Mario, like he's in like red and stuff. And he has like this courage again, and then you go and actually face off against the thing, and it's like a platforming challenge. But I always remember that scene being really cool.
One of my favorite parts is when you're in the desert and
You have to do the escort mission.
and you're just trying to recover some ingredients for Chocola for whatever reason. Like that was fucking stupid but funny. I forget like all of what happened there, but I just love the idea of like, hey, we need cola for this. We need the ingredients for it though. Hey, you guys can go get it, right? And like, yeah, and then you go grab what is it, like a bean and like two other things, and bam, you make some delicious Chocola.
There's also when you go through the desert, you have the Princess Peach escort mission where like if you stop watching her for 2 seconds, she gets kidnapped again, and you have to go rescue her. And then every time you rescue her, she just laughs it off like, "Haha, that's funny," and it's like, "God damn it,
Peach, you bitch."
There's so many moments. Like there's a Yoshi movie theater at one point with
Yep.
this guy who like he's got like this like advisor who's always giving him bad advice, and he just fucking knocks him out of the way every time. There's a fashion show that you have to help this person do like art fashion that happens. Also,
Play this again.
This game introduced to us the most horrifying thing in all of Mario history.
What's that?
Bowletta.
Bowletta.
Oh.
It also started the running gag of Bowser getting fused with random things in this series for some reason.
Doesn't Bowser get possessed every game?
Maybe.
We'll get to that. Let me just say, this is the one time where he legit gets possessed. Because, Cackletta, you actually face off against her like halfway through the game, and you actually defeat her, and she's basically dead. So, like, Fawful saves her by implanting her soul into Bowser, who
the ultimate killing machine.
Who at that point has been running around because Bowser gets fucking. Because you remember how we start the game teamed up with Bowser. We lose Bowser after about 5 minutes of gameplay.
Right.
Where he gets trapped in a cannon and gets launched across the map, and then he ends up becoming he has like amnesia, and he becomes like basically this Popple the Shadow Thief's bitch for like half the game.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, there's so much whack.
Man,
Also, the mini games like in this game are great because like you have to cross the toll from Mushroom Kingdom to Bean Kingdom, and it's literally you play jump over the rope.
You gotta pay the troll toll if you want to get that boy's hole.
Oh man,
see,
That's
I want a remake of this game, like a legit better remake than what we got for the Switch, and have Jack Black voice Bowser,
Bowser.
the entire game. I don't
Also-
care. The rest can be text. I just want Bowser to be voiced by Jack Black.
I want to hear Rookie Bowser as Jack Black because Rookie Bowser is my favorite character because he's like so not Bowser at all.
They should get a goddamn Switch remake for Superstar Saga. Get like the one that started it all. Remake it.
So
Make even more little quality of life fixes and
I will say the remake for Superstar Saga, I did really enjoy when it came out. Even though because they added in all like the quality of life improvements, it makes the game so much easier.
yeah, like the emergency block. I fucking refuse to use that stupid garbage. Like it's Mario and Luigi. God damn it! I'm gonna jump. I'm not blocking anything. I'm just gonna take the hit if anything.
Oh, even like the double jumps now and like just like all the different like quality of life improvements, you get so much more experience now.
Fuck.
Did you guys ever figure out what the mustache stat?
Oh,
was
stash?
for?
It's
Yeah.
it improves your luck, like how much you'll get like lucky hits, and it improves how much of a discount you get at the shop.
Okay. All right.
So you
Okay.
actually do want to raise that because it well, actually we should talk about the leveling up system because the leveling up system's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it changes. I think like a couple times throughout the series.
It's mostly the same though for the most part. Like basically the way you level up is you have a bunch of different attributes, and every time you level up you get one extra, like it's like a slot reel like thing, and you can choose
Oh, yeah.
Right.
you can choose which attribute you want to give an extra buff to. The key is though, if you just always do attack, after a while the slot reel is going to go from having like 5, 6s, and 4s to just 1s and 2s. And it's like it's basically telling you, hey, spread this out a little bit. Don't just give it all into attack. It's like change it up a bit, because if you change it to a different one each time, because what's cool is if you click on something, it doesn't make you commit right away. You actually can see the slot reel going, and you can see what your numbers are. So it's like, oh, if it's in 1s and 2s, okay, go to something else. See if it's in the
Right.
higher numbers. So you always get the optimum stat boost, essentially.
And I think isn't Mario the more like attack focused one, and then
Yeah.
Luigi is more defensive.
Luigi has more HP at the start because Luigi, in every Mario and Luigi game, Luigi always starts off kind of handicapped because Mario has like 5 battles beforehand that give him stat boosts before like Luigi even gets to fight.
Poor fucking guy.
Although, to be fair, in this game in particular, it balances out because there is multiple sections throughout this game where Mario and Luigi get separated. Because like Luigi has that entire boss fight to himself with the elastic piranha plant guy.
Holy shit! I don't remember any of this. I need to go back and replay this fucking game. Apparently,
It's during the quest to get the bean star pieces, and at one point
oh,
you need those fruits to get the neon Yoshi eggs so you can get the one at the movie theater. And one of the fruits gets eaten by this like piranha plant dude, and you have to go get it, and only Luigi can get to it. And you find out that the piranha plant not only ate the fruit, but it also ate Prince Peasley, who at the same time is apparently trying to get the bean stars before us, and he doesn't get a single one of them because we get them all.
oh yeah, Prince Peasley, that guy too.
I love him
Isn't
because
that the guy that shows up and he like flips his hair and,
Yep.
does
and it like
nothing?
the screen flashes every time he does it.
Right. He's like Tuxedo Mask. He shows up and does nothing.
This
Fucking
game,
Moomin Rider.
oh, my favorite joke. One of my favorite
Right,
jokes too
right.
is when you make the bet, like, and the bet is like he'll give you like 50,000 Mushroom Kingdom coins if you get the bean stars first. And then once you get them, it's like, today's conversion rate, 50,000 Mushroom Kingdom coins converts to 100 bean coins, and the Mario and Luigi just fall over. Also, this is the one of the few Mario games where Mario and Luigi actually do plumbing.
Do they?
Really?
When you're in the Bean Castle sewers, you have to fix the plumbing to get to the next part, but you find out later that fixing the plumbing was actually a trap because it released the Bean Star and let Cackletta get it.
Holy shit. Okay, we gotta move on to the next one. It's been almost an hour.
So, Partners in Time.
Partners in Time came out in 2005.
This is the first one I played.
I have not played this one.
Going with the babies.
So this is the one that got me into the series, and what's really funny is I played this one first, and then played Superstar Saga, and it was really weird that Superstar Saga felt like the sequel because it had so many improvements over Partners in Time.
Oh yeah, because isn't like in Partners, I think if I remember correctly, Partners in Time is infamous for like you don't have BP or like bros moves anymore. You just have items, like consumable items that have you do bros moves or something.
So Partners in Time basically, so just to put ahead like at the start of this, unlike a lot of people who claim this game is terrible, it's not, it's fine. It's just kind of dull compared to the game that preceded it and the game that followed it. So I guess to explain it best, this game simplifies pretty much everything from Superstar Saga, where Superstar Saga had this massive like world that you could explore and like had tons of secret dungeons and stuff that you could find by exploring. Partners in Time is extremely linear. Like you have a main hub world, and then you can go to each world via the hub time portals because there's a whole time travel mechanic thing.
Right.
And essentially you go back in time to these different levels, and the levels are pretty like linear, straightforward. They're fun to explore. There is a good amount of exploration. It's not like completely straight line, but it's definitely not as explorative as Superstar Saga. They also simplified the combat, but also expanded a little bit. They got rid of the bros moves. Now you just have items, and rather than having BP, you basically you just collect the items themselves. So you have like say 99 Koopa shells, 99 trampolines that you can use.
What the fuck?
They're basically the bros moves, just like with different button combinations now, but it's like a shell instead. But at the same time, they kind of began the introduction of like the combo moves that we'd see in like Bowser's Inside Story, where like when you get the babies added, you have like say like a moment where like say like Mario goes to jump, but if he has baby Mario on his back, you hit X first and baby Mario will hit and then Mario will jump. So it's kind of like a two-step kind of attack, which they kind of simplified later in Bowser's Inside Story to just be with Mario, but it was kind of like the early inklings of that. You could also do like similar things with like the hammers. The story is weirdly dark. Like it's about like aliens coming to the Mushroom Kingdom of the past and like taking over and basically committing genocide on the Toads.
Holy shit!
And their goal is to get to the future and then take over the future Mushroom Kingdom as well. And the whole plot is weirdly dark, but it's also kind of interesting at the same time. Overall, though, the game's great, like pretty fun. Combat's fine, levels are cool, music's great, story's pretty fun. It's basically just Superstar Saga, but not as good. That's kind of its biggest problem.
That's kind of what. Go ahead, dude.
I played this game a long time after Superstar Saga came out, so to me it felt like a natural evolution of the formula. Because you got top and bottom screens, you got extra buttons for the babies, and to me this felt like a natural evolution for Superstar Saga. But now that you say that they removed the bro moves and they just added items and whatnot, I don't know where they were going. Like I do prefer games to be a whole lot linear than for them to be open world, because I don't want to spend a lot of time figuring out where I want to go, where I have to go.
I think a lot of it has to do with,
Yeah.
you got to remember, Superstar Saga, despite being like critically praised and being a cultural like darling nowadays, the game was actually heavily criticized when it first came out for being way too hard.
Damn.
Yeah, it was considered too hard back in the day. Which I mean,
I know that the game was like normal, and then when you get to the final boss fight, it just like
Cackletta sucks. Like, we didn't even mention that fighting. Well, Bowletta's fine. Once you get inside Bowletta and you face Ghost Cackletta, you start with 1 hit point, and it's like, if you don't drop 2 max nuts right at the start, you're in for a bad time. Yeah. There's no good way to say that. There's no good way to say that, but yeah, if you don't drop the 2 max nuts right at the start, you're fucked, because like you're legit 0 HP basically. Which is funny because in the remake, I struggled so hard in the original game to beat Cackletta. In the remake, I did it first try, so make that of what you will.
So you have like all 4 face buttons have a use, right, on partners in time. I think the next game that I played after that was probably Paper Jam, and you only have Mario, Luigi, and Paper Mario, and I felt like there was something missing the entire time.
Okay, so you didn't play Bowser's Inside Story right away?
I dabbled in it. I think I got to the part where he fights the castle at the beginning of the game.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't play anymore after that.
Gotcha. Yeah, my theory is that they thought, because of all the criticisms towards Superstar Saga where it was too difficult, they simplified everything to make it easier, which is interesting because Partners in Time still has challenge. Like, that final boss fucking sucks. Not the final boss cinematically, the real final boss. Because this game also ends with Bowser getting fused with so
Fucking course, dude.
The final boss of this game is a cutscene battle, basically, where it's like Bowser, when you defeat the Elder Princess Shroom, because there's 2 Princess Shrooms, by the way, Shroob. Once you defeat the Elder one, she like devolves into this like mushroom, and they take that mushroom to the future, and then Bowser eats it and fuses with her and becomes Shrouzer. Yes. And he's invincible. The only way to defeat him is you have to dodge attacks, and he has like a meter at the top, and each time you dodge an attack, the meter goes down. It's a cutscene battle, essentially.
That sounds terrible.
It's a very underwhelming ending.
Yeah, it sounds very anticlimactic.
Yeah, it's something. The final boss, though, the Elder Princess Shroom, is fucking miserable because some of her attacks are just fucking ridiculous.
So, and you never played this one, Aaron?
No, I've never played this one. I didn't even know it existed until I guess like a few years. Well, not a few years ago, but like a while ago.
Would you guys like to know the one thing that ties Partners in Time to both Superstar Saga and Bowser's Inside Story?
Is it Fawful?
Yes.
Yeah.
So Fawful has the weirdest cameo in this game. So there's a point mid-game where you get access to Princess Peach's castles, because the main hub of the game is Princess Peach's castle in the present. Eventually you get access to the basement, and the first time you go down into the basement, you just see this like red cloaked like character walking in the background, and at first thought, if you don't know, you're like, what the fuck is that? Like, why are they pointing it out? And then you go to the next screen, and he's inside one of the pipes, and the only way you can get into the pipes is because they gave the drilling ability to the babies this time around. So you drill into the ground, and then you go into the pipe. And if you go through the pipe, you find out that Fawful, you find out the red cloaked figure is like in this like weird store with the Bean Kingdom smiley face on the floor. And you talk to him, and he basically reveals himself as Fawful, and that he basically gives like backstory to the previous game, explaining how like this was all ruined by 2 mysterious red and green plumbers who overheated my ship and ruined my plans, basically alluding to his final boss fight in the previous game. And he doesn't recognize the babies, although he says they look oddly familiar. But it's basically implied that you're basically you're trading him beans for like really rare badges and and pants.
Rare pants.
Yeah, because the equipables are like pants and badges in this series. And it's hilarious because he's basically alluding to like he's planning something, but he's not really telling you what he's planning. So you basically you're secretly funding his goals for Bowser's Inside Story.
I thought you were going to say that you go into the basement of the castle and Fawful is just chained up to a radiator and then there's some toad just smacking it with a lead pipe.
It's like Saw. It's like Saw.
What's funny is they've made dark jokes like that though in this series because when you in Superstar Saga when you beat Popple the Shadow Thief for the final time, if you go up to Little Fungi Town and you go by like the town hall, you can see Popple like scrubbing the side of the building. There's a toad telling him, basically being like, "Hey, get back to work, rookie," or something like that.
Jesus fucking Christ, dude.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's great.
Should we move on to Inside Story or Bowser's Inside Story?
Yes,
I think we should. There's really nothing else in Harder's in Time other than Santa gets kidnapped by aliens at one point. That happens.
I
Never forget
just-
Santa was also in Secret of Mana. He's a Frost
God.
Gigas.
The one thing that I love the most about Partners in Time before we move on is Charles Martinet has so many moments where he's just doing that gibberish that he does with Mario and Luigi, and out of nowhere he screams baby with either Mario and Luigi's voice, and then he does the
Baby.
same with the babies, but the babies scream Mario or Luigi. And I think that's the only thing that kept me going through the entire game, because it's like hearing the voice of God every time.
The voice of God.
Every time you hear Charles say that.
Before we move on, though, I have to also bring up some of the fucking dark fucking shit that the Shroops are doing. There's an entire level that's like a forest, and the forest legit has these trees that have toads strapped to them, and they're sucking the legitimate life force out of toads.
Oh my fucking God.
That is a fucking plot point in a Mario game.
Holy shit.
It's fucking scorn shit going on in that Mario game.
This game is unnecessarily dark at times.
Well, at least they learned from it and they toned it down quite a bit. Bowser's Inside Story. Yeah, this one was definitely not as dark. I mean, fuck. This one, I never played the original Bowser's Inside Story. I've only played the remake.
Oh,
But
you're missing out.
I mean, it wasn't bad though. Was there like is one easier than the other?
It's not so much that the remake is bad. It for whatever reason it runs at 30 frames rather than 60 like the original did. It feels slower at times. It's more just a preference thing. I think the original just did it better. The game itself, though, I think it's the best in the series personally.
I would agree. Yeah,
Yeah, I think that's
really
the general
fucking good.
consensus.
It's also, I have to say, the best incarnation of Bowser ever in the series is in this game.
I think so too. He's not so much of a dickhead. Like he's actually compliant
Well,
and like
he's a dickhead, but he's a lovable dickhead.
yeah. And they also they kind of changed the level up system a little bit because you have like the whole rank thing.
Yeah,
where when
they
you reach a certain level, you basically
Expanded
unlock
it.
a perk. Yeah.
So what makes this game super notable is rather than having two sets of Mario Brothers like in Partisan Time, this time around it's just Mario and Luigi again, but also Bowser is playable. And honestly, this is more Bowser's game than Mario and Luigi's game in a lot of ways.
They didn't need to make Bowser and Luigi like Bowser and the Bros so completely different, but they fucking did. Like Bowser plays so incredibly different from Mario and Luigi, and that's really cool. Like
he plays different, but also similar enough that it's not like jarring.
yeah, like instead of jumping, he just retreats into his shell and defends that way, and like instead of jumping around, he just punches. He just fucking punches him in the face.
Or he dodges by like crouching into his shell and then like hiding in there. which is
And his
cool.
and his fire breath, they let you use his fire breath, and that's really cool.
And his new gimmick for this game, his vacuum breath, which
Oh, yeah.
leads directly into this game's new gimmick, which I really like, is so early in the game, Mario and Luigi get basically vacuumed into Bowser because Bowser takes a random mushroom from a very sketchy individual, and the individual basically says, "Here, this will help you beat the Mario Brothers." And basically, it's Fawful in disguise giving him a trap, and the mushroom he gets basically turns him into a living vacuum cleaner. And he gains the ability to basically just inhale everything. And in the process, he inhales the Mario Brothers and all of Mushroom Kingdom, basically council, as a plot to basically get Fawful in control of the Mushroom Kingdom. And what's hilarious, though, is the whole reason Bowser's out in the middle of nowhere to get this mushroom is basically there's like this like disease going around the Mushroom Kingdom.
Oh yeah, we're making the toads
The-
bloat or whatever.
The blorbs.
Fuck, my voice is cracking so much today. I don't know what's wrong with me.
It's all good. It's called the blorbs, and
Mhm.
it's basically a disease that's causing all the toads to turn into giant gargantuan balloons, basically. So the Mushroom Kingdom's having like this whole meeting, basically going over what they should do for like relief and like to solve the problem. And Bowser shows up, and he's not there to start shit. He literally shows up because he wants to be part of the meeting, and he's like butthurt that like they didn't invite him to show up for the council meeting.
Aw.
And
Bowser.
immediately, like, rather than like let him stay there, like, no, you're evil, and they fight him and just send him away. It's like the dude just wanted to be part of the town meeting. Like, he wasn't even there to be a dick.
Poor dude.
But that leads to essentially how he gets the vacuum powers, and he sucks up Mario and everybody. And this leads into like this game's coolest gimmick, which is the whole basically two world system where Bowser is doing everything on the overworld, and the bros are inside Bowser.
Yep.
Hence inside story. And what's cool about that is when you're playing the inside Bowser levels, it changes over to a side scroller, which is kind of cool. Like, so it changes up the gameplay. And when Bowser's on the overworld, it's like the traditional 3D style. So when you're in combat, you can use the vacuum ability and you can suck up certain enemies. And when they go inside Bowser, then you have to face the bros inside who are fighting on the inside of Bowser.
Fuck yeah.
It's a cool,
I
like,
remember that was pretty
two-tiered
cool.
battle system. Another thing that's really cool is, like, there's certain enemies on the overworld that are so small that, like, Bowser, because he's so big, he'll walk over them and basically just crush them to death because they're so small. Eventually, the Mario Brothers get outside of Bowser and are back on the overworld. You can run into those enemies on the overworld, and you'll actually have to fight them because they're normal sized.
Another super cool, another super cool detail that they added was like, so when you're Bowser and you're on the overworld, you know, the music is just what it is. But then when you play as Mario and Luigi and you're inside Bowser, the music is like slightly muffled a little bit.
And it's like
So you get, like,
techno-y.
Yeah. That's so fucking
What?
cool. Yeah. It's really,
So
really cool,
fucking
dude.
Cool.
Each track
This-
has like two
this
separate
game
versions, just like the
is-
normal and then the inside version. And
What I also love about this game is you'll get to like certain events on the overworld where, like, say Bowser like encounters a giant rock that he just can't get past. And he's like, his solution is, I'll just fucking pick it up and move it. And by doing that, like, it'll activate like something in his like arm sensors. So you go
yeah.
to his arm and you have to play a mini game to basically spike his strength up so he can move the rock.
Isn't like the mini game like you get like orbs of electricity like launched at you, and they are color coded, so you have to smack them back
Yeah.
like Mario and Luigi.
And it's like you have to like time it
Yeah.
right. And the what's awesome is like they time to the music, so you like actually like hit them as the music goes. So it's like
Yeah, dude.
whack, 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 whack. Like you time it out. It's fun.
God, and the
this game is fucking awesome. Why don't
Oh,
people
shit.
talk about this game more?
We talk about it all the time, I think. I don't know. The combat is so fucking cool though, because so the bros moves for Mario and Luigi, like in Superstar Saga, they were all about like their acrobatics and like their fire and lightning and shit like that. But in Bowser's Inside Story now, it's more about like different things from like Mario history. Like they have a move that has to do with like kicking a Koopa shell around.
So, you didn't play Partisan Time. These
Nope.
are actually the moves that were in Partisan Time. They brought back the BP system, so it's not as broken.
That's oh my god! And then
Okay,
holy shit!
okay.
And then Bowser, his moves are like summoning his
Minions.
little armies. Yeah, like he has the Goomba army, Shy Guys, but and he also has this like cube dog named
Oh, yeah.
Froggy that he can summon, and then
The
he
one,
fights with him.
the one real side quest in this game is you have to go around the world finding all the little they're called the blitties, which that doesn't sound right in hindsight, but they're like little cat blocks, because there's a character who is he's literally a French stereotype, which is I don't know how I feel about it exactly.
Brock
but,
Monsieur.
Brock Monsieur, and he's
Brock Monsieur, my boy.
he's literally a mystery block with like a mustache.
Yep.
But he can turn his head over and he gets a different mustache, but his other mustache becomes like angry eyes. Yeah, and he hates the Mario Brothers because they destroy blocks.
Oh, Brock Mansour, the preeminent
baby.
block collector of the Mushroom Kingdom. He runs a store with his canine friend Broggy.
Yeah, dude. And Broggy is like the only real teammate that Bowser gets, but it's really, really fucking cool.
Oh yeah, but going back to that side quest, so you have to go around the world finding all the little blitties, which are just cat little cubes. And the way you find them is you have to like suck them out of enemies using the vacuum thing. So you have to. It sounds great.
Suck enemies.
It's almost as bad as sucking the pants off of the monkeys.
Yeah. No, but like you have to find like I think there's like 12 of them or like 15. There's like some number of them that you find, and once you get them all, you unlock basically Bowser's ultimate move, which is the Broggy attack.
So good, dude.
And fun fact about this game too: one of the biggest complaints in Partners in Time is there was legitimately no touchscreen integration at all. You use it. There's one a point in that game where you use the touchscreen, and it's literally to rub dirt off a piece of paper.
That's so dumb.
It's the only time you use the touchscreen at all in the game. So this game, instead, they've made it pretty much all the time you're using the touchscreen.
Don't you also use it for like the giant Bowser battles, or was that like tapping A?
Don't you have to turn like the DS sideways to?
So I guess we should talk about those for a minute. The giant battles. I hate them personally.
Yeah, they suck. They're not good.
Especially like say like I love to play handheld games when I'm like working out, like on the exercise bike or something. Nothing is more inconvenient than having to turn my DS sideways and then use a stylus while I'm on an exercise bike. And like, it's so finicky sometimes. Like, you swear you do that punch perfectly, and it's like, okay. And you're like, all right. And then you like miss all of the hits, and you get like knocked back, and you're like, fuck this shit.
It's like, I gotta keep playing this even fucking longer.
Also, I love the meta sense of the giant battles where like Bowser gets fucking annihilated, and they have to like basically go to like his central nervous system or core and basically be like, hey, we gotta bring Bowser back. I need you to basically revive him because he got fucking crushed to death.
he gets fucking killed.
And then you basically play this mini game and he just becomes huge, and then you get another mini game boss fight.
Man, what else was? Oh yeah, the rank system. What is it? They expand upon that in later games a little bit more, but what is it? It just lets you in this game. It just lets you equip more accessories and shop at different shops and shit like that.
They changed how badges work, so badges aren't equipable items anymore. Now there's a set of badges that you get, and the badges are essentially like you have two halves of a badge, and every time you hit like a perfect hit, the meter will kind of move closer to the center for whichever bro had the perfect hit. once the badges line up together and like click together, you get like this special like effect where like some of them give you more HP, others will give you like bros points, some will give you a status buff. Like it's basically just a little thing that you meter that you watch in the side. It's kind of like in the Mario and Luigi remake that just came out, where like you have that little like special move like meter that you can build up, and once you build it up completely, you can use the special move.
Is that
So you just don't get like any sort of different badges. It's just like the one
So the badges
set.
have been phased out. Instead, they've replaced badges with like now you have like gloves, like boots and stuff. Like you have full on equipables now, and not just pants.
there's also
'Cause I think in Paper Jam you actually have like gloves and boots and shit that
Yep.
you can equip. Yeah,
They started that with this game.
I see.
they also
Sorry, Aaron?
have this one system where like when you reach a certain level, you reach a new rank. Like you start off at mushroom rank, but then when you hit like level 6,
Right.
you get shell rank, and then they let you equip more accessories or shop at different shops. Or for Bowser, it just gives him like certain items and shit like that. They changed that up a lot. I think they changed that completely for the remake, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, like Dream Team and Paper Jam, they changed it up to basically like a perk system where you get like no, we'll get to that later. But that rank system is pretty fucking cool. A great way to incentivize you into grinding out higher levels so that you can gain more accessory slots and get more cool passive abilities. Because like some of the items you can equip, and even like the gloves and shit that you can equip, they have different cool passive abilities. Like was it like jump attacks are also effective against like spiky enemies, or like I forget a lot of the other ones, but they have like really cool passive abilities, and I like that a lot.
Yeah, there was some cool things. There was also they had a cool mechanic where like to get special moves for like the bros, you had to find like a set of like puzzle blocks that would give you the full. It was like I think usually like 10 puzzle blocks, and then you'd unlock a new like special move.
Right. I remember that.
Yeah,
Including
Yeah.
one of my
Yeah.
absolute favorite ones is like Luigi just eats a bunch of food and then just gets super fat and
Yep.
then just does a giant body slam. And you need that one to like knock over the random like shaman guy chilling on top of the hill to get the one miracle cure piece.
The shaman guy.
Like, it's the guy that trolls Bowser the entire game, like in his mind. Also, this game has a lot of Luigi bashing in it.
It does. Oh, wait, before I forget, my favorite moment in the game is that part where you feed Bowser a lot of cake, so he gets
And he
good,
gets
fat, and
fat.
heavy. Yeah, and then he falls through the floor and plugs up that one hole for whatever reason. I thought that was funny. Like, yeah, just fatten that fucker up more than he already is.
And then to get him skinny, he runs on this fucking treadmill, and he runs
Yep.
so fast he starts burning like calories. It like by legit lighting on fire. But you can go back to that room like later on, and there's some food again, and he eats it and instantly gets fat again. And then
Yep.
to get unfat, he just does some crunches for like 3 seconds and gets skinny again. It's like, yeah, I wish that's how it worked in real life.
Man, that's such a great game. That's all I had for Bowser's Inside Story.
I wanted to, so there was a few like little moments here and there that I really enjoy. Like, so like we were talking about Luigi bashing. There's like a point in like one of when you're in like I think it's actually the fat level. You fall into
fat level.
well, because when Bowser gets fat, it unlocks the flab zone.
Okay.
I think when you're in there, you can fall into the like the fat, I guess, and like this this is how you learn about badges. This like creature comes out and she's like, "Oh, did you lose something in here?" It's like, "Did you lose these badges, or did you lose this weird flabby thing I found in here?" And she's holding Luigi, and you have to choose either Luigi or the badges, and obviously you're supposed to pick Luigi. And she the whole time she's like, "Are you sure you don't want the badges, not this weird flabby thing?" And basically it's a test. There is one callback to Partisan Time in this game where there's a secret hidden boss in the bottom of Bowser's castle that is completely out of the way, and like you have to do this whole code thing to find.
Gross.
But if you do it,
That's disgusting.
you unlock this secret like deep freeze that Bowser has under his castle, and he has legitimately a shit ton of shrooms frozen under his castle.
What?
Oh, that's cool.
and there is a boss fight where you fight 3 shroobs, and they're actually kind of challenging. Like they're pretty strong, but you get a cool item for beating it. But what's really weird about this scene, just on a meta sense, is if you look in the background, there's a ton of shroobs like frozen, including an Elder Princess shroom, which leads to a lot of questions. But yeah, that's funny. But one of the things that I always sticks to me in this scene is like Starlo, after you beat the shroobs, basically decides to use this as an excuse to shit on Luigi, and she's like, "Oh, how'd you beat the Luigis? By crying on them?" Because Luigi cries a lot, and then it's kind of like the joke. The whole joke is that the thing that defeated the shroobs was Luigi's tears.
Oh man!
So it's kind of like, yeah, he did beat them by crying.
Go Luigi.
Yeah,
the boy.
Also, just like Fawful throughout this entire game is one massive troll to Bowser, and his entire plan is basically just like taking over everything. And then you defeat him in the end, and he literally like suicides and like tries to take you with him.
So Fawful pulls a Voltorb, just blows up.
So towards the end of the game, there's an evil entity in this game called the Dark Star, which is like this evil like star that was hidden below the Mushroom Kingdom, and Fawful wants it because he wants to use its power. And the Dark Star is sentient, and it basically clones Bowser to use as its like corporal form. But because like Fawful stole some of its energy, it needs Fawful as well to be complete. So it becomes like this dark version of Bowser, and then after you defeat Fawful for the final time, he, like Cackletta, kind of gets turned into like this like ghostly being, and the incomplete Dark Bowser basically absorbs him to become the complete Dark Bowser, which is just the Dark Star in like Bowser's form, and it basically looks like Hot Topic Bowser, like literally.
Hot Topic Bowser.
And that's the final boss, and it's a cool final boss because it's literally Bowser versus Bowser, and you have to like use Bowser's abilities against Bowser.
Man,
holy fucking shit, dude!
It is the best ending to that game.
This is just so fascinating to me. Like I didn't know that this type of storytelling was in a Mario game.
And I'm giving an incredibly abridged, like not great summarization. So,
unfortunately, I feel like it kind of goes downhill from there. Like I haven't ever beaten Dream Team or Paper Jam. I've gotten like a little bit more than halfway through them.
Dream Team.
We'll get to those.
So Dream Team was the next game in the series, and Dream Team came out at a really weird time for the Mario series.
Wasn't it the year of Luigi?
It was the year of Luigi, which in hindsight, you got to feel bad for Luigi because what a fucking disgrace that year was. But
right. hold on to that thought. We got to take an ad break.
Oh yeah.
You thought it was time for Dream Team. It's time for ad break. We'll be right back.
Hey, what's up, Super Potters? Tommy here. I just want to give a big shout out to our patrons. They are all wonderful, stand-up fellows. Thank you, Adam, Jameson, Jared, and a novel console for your support. It genuinely means the world to Aaron and I to have such handsome, talented patrons. And I truly believe the universe will reward you in some karmic way for being a patron to Super Pod Saga. Thank you. Hey there, Super Potters! You may be wondering how Aaron and I, bumbling idiots that we are, managed to record, edit, and distribute our world-class podcast, The Super Pod Saga. The answer, dear listeners, is Zencastr. Let me tell you more. It is so easy to record a podcast with Zencastr. Log in using your browser and start recording a high-quality podcast right away. Record studio-quality sound and up to 4K video with your guests. Feel a sense of zen, knowing Zencastr's multi-layered backups ensure you always have your recordings in the highest quality, even if the connection is unstable. It's an all-in-one service! If you have thought about podcasting before, and realize that you need a lot of different tools and services, those days are over. With Zencastr's all-in-one podcasting platform, you can create your podcast all in one place and distribute it to Spotify, Apple, and other major destinations. Go to zencastr.com/pricing and use my code SUPERPODSAGA and you'll get 30% off your first month of any Zencastr paid plan. I want you to have the same easy experiences I do for all my podcasting and content needs. It's time to share your story.
It's really important to stay hydrated. They say to drink 8 to 10 cups of water per day to stay properly hydrated, but sometimes that can be difficult to do and completely inconvenient, and most of us don't feel like carrying a gallon of water with us at all times. But that's where Liquid IV comes in. Liquid IV is the category-winning hydration brand fueling your well-being, and their hydration multiplier is the one product you're missing in your daily routine. In just one stick, you get 5 essential vitamins and 2 times faster hydration than water alone. Use it first thing in the morning, before a workout, when you feel run down, after a long night out, or on long flights. Man, in Iowa, the summers can be brutal. 90 degrees and tons of humidity, and that just saps the energy and water right out of your system within just a few minutes. Luckily, Liquid IV hydrates 2 times faster than water alone, with 3 times the electrolytes of traditional sports drinks. It's very important to replace those electrolytes, you know? And I just love how quick and easy it is to use Liquid IV. You just get one packet and a bottle of water, and you just pour that packet into the bottle of water, shake the heck out of it, and bam, you are good to go. Since using Liquid IV, I've felt way more alert, active, and just plain better versus drinking water alone. My favorite flavors to go to are the Yuzu Pineapple Energy Multiplier and the Tropical Punch Hydration Multiplier. I can't get enough of those ones. And what makes them even better is, like I mentioned earlier, they're packed with 5 essential vitamins like B3, B5, B6, B12, and vitamin C. And again, 3 times the electrolytes of traditional sports drinks. And they're non-GMO and free from gluten, dairy, and soy, which is just great. So you can get 20% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use code SUPERPODSAGA at checkout. That's 20% off anything when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code SUPERPODSAGA, SUPERPODSAGA at liquidiv.com. You have a great one, superstars. If you're a fan of coffee and you're looking for something different, I think we've got just the thing for you. That's Bones Coffee. Bones Coffee is not your usual coffee company. Of course, it's all sugar-free, gluten-free, all that stuff, because it's just coffee, nothing added to it. But they roast each batch of coffee beans to your order, and they've got just a bazillion different flavors to choose from. They've got your usual French vanilla, salted caramel, they've got Irish cream, of course they've got decaf, single origin coffees like Kenya, Guatemala, stuff like that, even what they call high voltage, which is extra strength, extra caffeine. But they have all sorts of other awesome kind of out of the box flavors. They've got ones like cotton candy, maple bacon, and even mint chocolate chip ice cream. And they're always coming up with new crossover flavors, like they've done a bunch for Nightmare Before Christmas, Indiana Jones, even Spider-Man, of all things. And they're also coming up with new seasonal flavors all the time. If this sounds right up your alley, feel free to use the link in our episode description and use coupon code SUPERPODSAGA at checkout to get 20% off your order. That's SUPERPODSAGA at checkout to get 20% off your order. And if you're not just in the market for coffee, you can also get some sweet mugs. They've got lots of cool shirts. They've got all sorts of different brewing equipment like French presses, stuff like that. Just head on over to bonescoffee.com, or again, use the link in our episode description and get 20% off. Get yourself a new interesting flavor and spice up your morning routine with Bones Coffee. I really hope you enjoy. I'm a really big fan of it, and I hope you find one that really hooks you. Thank you so much for listening. Have a good one. Have either of you guys ever heard of the movie Over the Top?
No,
I have
never.
not.
Oh my god. Okay, so it's this arm wrestle, or no, it's this movie starring Sylvester Stallone where he's an out of work trucker, and what is he wants to impress his son. So he takes him on this road trip where he arm wrestles a bunch of dudes, and he enters this arm wrestling tournament to win a bunch of money. That's it. That's pretty much all my ad was gonna be. It's Over the Top 2, where Sylvester Stallone he arm wrestles aliens to save the fate of the world. He starts off against little alien henchmen, just breaking their arms clean the fuck off. He's still sweaty and muscly and disgusting and as oily as he was in the first Over the Top and any other Sylvester Stallone movie with his fucking greasy hot dog skin. But then he works his way up the alien galactic overlord ladder, and he wrestles Gleeklock, the leader of this advanced alien race, and he defeats him. Sylvester Stallone defeats the aliens, and he saves Earth. Coming this fall to theaters. It's Over the Top 2. Oh fuck, what's a good subtitle? Over the Top 2. Help me out.
Oh man,
Eglock Boogaloo, the second coming. Please kill me, die. And there's something like that.
Please kill me, die.
There we go. You know,
Oh, man.
he's truck driving in space in the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile,
Truck driver.
delivering hot dogs to the alien races all over in space.
Oh my fucking god! I love the idea of like
the perfect subtitle. Your winner. Just
your winner.
your winner.
a big part of the movie. I almost said the original movie, like there is a sequel. A big part of the movie is I guess it's not a big part, but he just drives his semi everywhere. Like he drives his semi to like a gas station to go get a fucking hot dog or something stupid, or like he drives his fucking rig like everywhere he goes. So I like the idea of him souping it up so that it can explore space. And it's just like Sylvester Stallone driving his space rig through space, and he's got like a fishbowl on his head. He's like, "Hey, I'm going through space. Fuck you, aliens. I'm Sylvester Stallone, baby."
See, I was thinking more like Chris's idea where he's driving the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile around, and then I'm just thinking of him in space like, I wish I were Oscar Mayer Wiener. Like,
See, but he has hot dog skin. What if in the sequel he has truck skin, and he drives the Wienermobile to go to gas stations to get trucks to eat? Like you said that he got wieners to eat while he was driving his truck on the first one.
What the fuck do you mean by truck skin? Like he's a
don't
fucking
know.
transformer?
Maybe.
he's the secret unlockable character in Drive Girls. It's another reference to that game.
Oh man, the Wienermobile.
Yeah, coming this fall to a theater near you.
Sylvester Stallone steals Aaron's cat.
He fucking did. He stole my cat.
You're a winner indeed.
Said something about feeding it hot dogs in space.
I'm gonna look up Over the Top real fast. I forgot when that movie came out. 1987. Oh my god. Oh, and his name was Lincoln Hawk. The greatest, like, most American fucking name I've ever heard. And we're back. Oh, okay, now go, Bill. Now talk about Dream Team.
All right. So Dream Team came out in such a weird time in like Nintendo and like the Mario series like history, because like Mario was having a rough time at this point. Like this was around the point where like Nintendo like was just like brain dead for ideas and like just was releasing Mario games every 3 days. Like we had like two new Super Mario games that released on the same day, which people were getting tired of as it was. You had like just Mario spin-off after Mario spin-off.
Yep.
Paper Mario Sticker Star had just come out, and that was a massive disappointment to all Mario RPG fans. So during this whole time, and then the year Luigi's going on, which is ending up being kind of a flop because all he's gotten so far is New Super Luigi U, which was fine. You had Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, which was also good, but like no one talked about it at the time.
I have a lot of issues with that game. A lot of issues with that game.
Exactly. And then there was Dr. Luigi, and then the game
Dr.
that like
Luigi.
the game that came out of nowhere and both excited and worried a lot of people was Mario and Luigi Dream Team, which was interesting because this was right after Sticker Star, which for those who don't know, Sticker Star was like hyped up as like the first Paper Mario going back to the classic roots, and then Miyamoto apparently came in and basically said get rid of the story and basically ruin the game. Allegedly. We don't know exactly what happened there. So then Dream Team gets announced, and people immediately are worried that they're going to pull the same shit on Dream Team, basically neutering everything that makes an RPG fun. And what was hilarious was the first trailer for Dream Team shows up, and it's literally Luigi sleeping, and it's like wow, in his year they're showing him sleeping, like that's great. So for at that point, like everyone's like thoughts on Nintendo their opinions of Nintendo were very low, especially after it was revealed that like apparently Nintendo was trying to get Alpha Dream to like kind of like do a lot of mandates on their game like they did with Sticker Star, and Alpha Dream basically told them no, leave us alone. So my theory with Dream Team is they were so worried about like the fans' responses to like all that negativity going on that they actually kind of went overboard, because one thing about Dream Team that you notice right away is this game hugs nostalgia like nothing else. You'll see characters from Superstar Saga, Bowser's Inside Story, Partners in Time show up, like just cameos all over the place. There's a ton of original characters because they really wanted to push that into the ground, that like, hey, we're still doing those. We're not going to be like Paper Mario. There's also a whole lot of story, but the other big thing is they were also kind of afraid that like new fans would be confused going into it, so they like made the game extremely tutorial heavy to start off.
Oh my god, yeah. And that slowed the fucking game to a crawl at like any given point.
That opening scene takes fucking forever because you have to get through like 7 tutorials before you can finally just play the game. And when you get to the game itself, it's great. It's basically like Bowser's Inside Story again, where you have like the whole overworld. The difference is you don't have Bowser anymore.
Yeah.
But instead of like going inside Bowser, now you have these like dream worlds where like Luigi falls asleep on a pillow, and you can go inside Luigi's dreams. And when you're inside, Mario encounters Dreamy Luigi, which is like this weird dream incarnation of Luigi.
Yeah, and you can interact with the environment, and well, I guess no, you interact with the environment through messing with Luigi's face. Like you can pull his mustache to pull like pathways and shit, or like tickle his nose to make him sneeze, so it blows you up this way.
Knock his hat in his face so he moves it. Basically, you're just messing with Luigi the entire game like an asshole. But like, what's cool is inside Luigi's world, you have Dreamy Luigi, and Dreamy Luigi, like in battle, like during like a normal Mario jump, like 100 Luigis will fall down and like do like massive damage and stuff.
Oh yeah, and you can roll them all up into a giant ball.
Yep.
And you use like the gyroscope to like steer the ball and shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this game loves the gyroscope, by the way.
Yeah, it fucking does. But this game, they went all fucking out on what the 3DS was equipped with, because like there was that one move, the whole red shell thing that really took advantage of the 3D, because like if you cranked that 3D up, you could kick the shell and you could see it go all the way into the background, and then it come back into the foreground, kick it, and then just go kick it back and forth and back and forth. And
yeah. One thing I feel like they went a bit overboard with, though, is like during like the bros moves, they take a lot of time because they're really showing off those graphics, which is fine. It's just a little distracting. Another thing I'd say about this game is like, for the most part, like overall, it's fine. It's a really fun game. The story's not as good as Bowser's Inside Story, which is why it's a little it's a little bit more forgettable. It's not a bad story, though. To me, the game... So, we've spoiled a lot, but there's a pretty major spoiler in Dream Team. Do you mind if I spoil it here? Or
Go for it.
So, the villain that appears throughout this game, legitimately, about halfway through the game, gets hijacked by Bowser, and Bowser becomes the main villain of the game.
That's not really a spoiler.
Well,
That's like...
for Mario and Luigi, it kind of was, because Bowser was never the main villain in any of these games.
You know, the biggest spoiler is actually on the box for the game. It says basic reading ability is needed to fully enjoy this game.
Jesus Christ, dude. Oh yeah, in this game was when they started to overhaul the rank system. So, like from Bowser's Inside Story, whenever you reach a certain level, you get a new rank. Whenever you reach a new rank, you can pick like one of like 2 or 3 different like little perks for Mario and Luigi. So like you can pick one that'll give you an additional 2 HP every time you gain a level, or there's one that reduces damage that you take from enemies, or gives you 20% more XP and stuff like that. So that's kind of cool. I think they did away with the roulette in favor of that, but that's still...
The roulette was still in Dream Team. They got rid of the roulette in the next game.
Oh, and
Yes.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah, other than that, though, like, the dungeons were really fun. There were some really fun dungeon puzzles that you'd have to figure out. To me, honestly, this game's weakest aspect is probably its story.
Yeah, because even the music is really fucking good. Like, I've never beaten Dream Team, but I have the final boss battle music saved in my gigantic playlist, and that track is so fucking good.
My thing with Dream Team is it's like the weakest aspect is the story, which says a lot because the story's not bad. It's just not as good as the previous 3.
Yeah.
It's just kind of a game. I think the thing with it is like it feels too long for its own good at times, and it's just kind of... I think we were burned out on the series by the time it came out. I think they tried too hard to appeal to fans, and by doing that, they kind of isolated the fans.
Yeah, and they didn't really do a whole lot different. I mean, they took advantage of the hardware like a motherfucker, though.
This game is 40 and a half hours long to beat.
It's long. It's
Holy
a very...
long as hell. No wonder I fell off of it.
Well,
isn't Bowser's Inside Story like 25 hours
yeah,
or
it's
something like that?
not... Well, if you go for everything, it's longer, but like for a basic playthrough is pretty short. It's not absurdly long. Dream Team, they like wanted to go all out.
Jesus Christ.
Which is fine. I just wish the story...
Yeah, 22
was more
hours for
interesting.
Inside Story.
That's what I thought. Something like that.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
Other than
I
that,
can't
though,
believe that.
there's really nothing else really remarkable to say about Dream Team.
No,
I mean,
we pretty much discussed it all.
The Luigi dream moves were pretty cool.
Oh, we didn't talk about giant Luigi battles.
At
I
least like
forgot
the
about
ones
that.
like the ones in Paper Jam.
They're all basically... They're just like the giant Bowser fights, but you're
The
Luigi
giant
now.
paper battles in Paper Jam, those fucking blow.
Yeah, they're not
They're
great.
fucking awful.
Anytime you have to turn the screen, and basically any game that makes me turn the screen sideways that isn't Brain Age, it's just bad.
Isn't Brain Age or what is it? Hotel Dusk. That was a good
Oh,
one.
yeah,
that made me turn
that-
into book mode.
I'll give that one a pass as well. So, Paper Jam,
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, Paper Jam.
the game that pissed off the Paper Mario fans.
Yeah, this one I actually haven't played very much of because I went on a spree of buying all of these games a few years ago, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna play through all of them, and I got like maybe halfway through Dream Team. Oh, except for Partners in Time because it was like fucking $90 back in the day, but it's cheap as shit now. I have not gotten very far in Paper Jam.
So Paper Jam is a crossover between Mario and Luigi and Paper Mario, if you couldn't tell by the title.
Oh yeah.
It was basically Alpha Dream's way of apologizing to like the Paper Mario fans, but all it did was piss them off because they wanted an actual Paper Mario game. And This game has one really meta thing about it that I find really interesting. That's kind of funny. Is according to the logic of this canon, the Paper Mario universe is apparently a book sitting somewhere in the Mario and Luigi universe.
Right.
Because the whole reason,
What the fuck?
the whole reason all the paper characters get there is they knock a book off a shelf and they fall out. It's
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's a really meta thing that you should not think too hard about. Basically,
There was this one gag where Peach and Paper Peach were imprisoned, and Peach is like, "Oh, you can just slip out," and Paper Peach just slips out of the cage.
they did.
There's a bunch of gags in this game that are very funny.
This game's writing is honestly better than Dream Team's, which is amazing because apparently Nintendo actually forced Alpha Dream to like subdue the amount of original characters present in this game, which is why there's mostly
oh yeah.
It's mostly the Kooplings and paper character the Kooplings and paper characters that appear in this game because Nintendo was really pushing no original characters at this point. Thankfully,
which is fucking stupid.
Yeah, I don't get it either. Thankfully, though, in this case, though, it kind of worked in that favor because the writing in this game is really good. Like, you get Paper Bowser and regular Bowser just like fighting it off, and it's like it's basically just two meatheads basically yelling at each other, which is great. Paper Mario, I think, is a fun addition to the cast. Like, it doesn't feel as fulfilling as like Bowser as the third playable character, but he's fine enough for what he is. I like the whole like how his combat is kind of like his main series added to the regular Mario and Luigi combat. It's a fun little game. It's just it kind of came out and then went away really quick.
Yeah, another one of the main complaints I've heard about the game is that it doesn't innovate.
No,
really.
It doesn't at all.
Like it introduces or not introduce. It brings in Paper Mario and does like the paper battles and has the card system, and that's cool, but it didn't like change anything. It's still the same formula. It doesn't do anything new.
They got rid of the roulettes during leveling up, which was disappointing.
To be honest, I don't remember anything about this game. All I know is that it kind of came up and it just existed.
Yeah.
Like I don't remember any marketing, any directs or anything talking about this game. I found it at a game store one day, and that's it.
I remember the trailer for it when it came out because that was when all the Paper Mario fans had a meltdown. And then I forgot about it until it came out, and I went to GameStop and saw it on the shelf and went, "Oh, that's out," and I bought it. Yeah, it kind of came and went. It's funny though because like you look at the history of Alpha Dream at this point, and obviously, like the first 3 games all sold really well. Dream Team did okay, and then it kind of was on like a steady decline from like from Dream Team on. They had a slight shot in the arm with the Superstar Saga remake because there was no way to play it at the time, so it was a nice new way to play it. And then the Bowser's Inside Story comes out, and it's literally the worst selling Mario game of all time.
Yeah, I don't know why they thought Bowser's Inside Story needed a fucking remake, because like we said at like the very beginning of this episode, I think it was already playable on the DS, and it already played just fine. It played,
and the Switch was out. The Switch was out.
Well, this was still during that point where Nintendo was trying to convince themselves the 3DS still had a future, because they've actually admitted. So the failure of this game is what finally got them to let the 3DS die. But apparently they've revealed like that they had more plans for the 3DS.
I'm sure. Fuck, I'm sure.
Honestly, I would have loved if Nintendo would have kept putting out stuff for the 3DS. But, why would they when they have the Switch? It's basically a handheld as well as a console, a home console. Why would you keep an extra handheld alive?
I think too, like the consumers had already like given up on the 3DS by this point. Like, there was some hardcore guys like us who still cared about the thing. But for the most part, the general public didn't give a shit about the 3DS anymore.
Yeah, they could make the most money on the Switch, and and like the games on the Switch were not way more expensive, but just a little bit more expensive. Yeah, they just made more
It's
money on the
$20
Switch.
The biggest question I have with the Bowser's Inside Story remake is like, just who asked for it? That's like been my question forever.
Right. I
Yeah.
would like to know the train of thought behind it. I would have understood if they would have done a reprint of the original. Maybe say, oh, hey, here's an extra mode. But it's the same game, just not do a whole
We didn't even talk
remake.
about like Bowser's Minions or like the Bowser Jr. story shit.
Oh, Bowser's Minion is so much fun.
See, I thought it was boring, to be honest.
Really?
I played.
I mean,
I didn't.
It
I felt like I
tickles
was.
that lizard brain.
Smooth lizard brain.
The smooth lizard brain sensor that I
See-
have in my head. It tickles that because it's.
I thought I was
tower-
just-
easy tower defense mode.
See, I'm not a big tower defense guy, so that's probably
Yeah.
why. Because I just thought I was watching a cutscene the entire time.
I mean that's understandable.
I almost kind of wonder if they had done the Bowser's Inside Story remake for Switch, if that maybe might have done better. No, I don't know if you even could because you need the second screen.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. It wouldn't
Yeah.
work.
I mean, I feel like they could have figured it out because did
mean,
they
they
figure out
fucked up.
motion controls for Skyward Sword, and then they figure out
Yeah, that's
Uh,
true.
other games. They figured out how to get rid of motion controls or touchscreen or whatever. They figured out Entry and Odyssey on Switch. I mean,
Yeah, they fucked up The World Ends With You on the fucking single screen. What a fucking wet fart in the face that was.
The only
Why didn't they remake that for 3DS? If you're gonna remake any fucking game for the 3DS, fucking The World Ends With You with all that extra fucking content with the dual screens, because the dual screen combat is way better. I'm done.
Also,
Go ahead, Bill.
Bowser's Inside Story is very touchscreen heavy, so I'm not sure that would work either. Also, how would they do the Bowser fight, the giant Bowser fights?
Cut him out.
I mean, fair.
Kill him.
I wouldn't mind. I would.
Fucking cut him out.
I wouldn't be opposed, but
Oh my god. I just when I was playing through Bowser's Inside Story, everything about it was good except for those fucking Bowser fights. God damn it, what a slap in the face. It's just, like, what is it? You tap A and then slide right to do
you
a
have to
punch or something
slide
like
on the
that? Or
screen,
like-
and I hate aggressively sliding on the DS screen because that I feel like you're just destroying the thing. But
yeah, the borders on the touch screen and shit.
Oh, man.
any game that requires you to fucking like be aggressive on the touchscreen, I'm not a fan of.
Holy WarioWare Gold, dude. You have to go.
Fucking Elite Beat Agents.
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
Well, that was a fun game though. Fucking Sonic Chronicles, fucking just destroying your touchscreen.
No, we don't
Oh.
talk about that game.
Making poffins in fucking Pokemon Diamond and Pearl.
Jesus Christ.
Fucking just obliterating your touchscreen to make that shit.
Oh yeah, we'll bring back The World Ends With You, dude. You gotta scratch enemies so they like start on fire. You gotta go fucking. Oh my god.
Among Us on on 3DS would have been amazing. You know, just fix the wires.
Oh, there we go. Man, what if? I really wonder what they would have done with the Mario and Luigi series on Switch, and like, I guess you kind of couldn't really do anything with it with HD Rumble. Man, I don't know. I don't know. I can't even
So-
possibly fathom what they would have made it into.
So my question is, I think at this point it's assumed that Mario and Luigi's just dead at this point.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
unfortunately.
Paper Mario it kind of still exists, but they just redid Mario and Luigi Mario RPG, and it seems like they have rights to that again. Do you think they make a sequel to Mario RPG finally after all these years?
That'd be cool. That'd be pretty
There's-
fucking cool.
Yeah, there's definitely space for it. Like there's definitely a Mario RPG sized hole that's not being filled up by either Paper Mario or Mario and Luigi. So might as well make a sequel.
If we can't have Mario and Luigi again, I want a game in like the Mario RPG style.
Right. Like enough remasters and shit. Give us a whole new Mario RPG.
What if that remake was a test
That's
to see
I mean,
how
hopefully
it would sell?
it's done
Hopefully.
it's done very well, so that's a
Yeah.
sign.
Right?
What's what was the last Mario RPG? No, it was Origami King. That was the last
Yep.
like new one we got. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's another theory I have too, is they're re-releasing Paper Mario 1,000 Year Door. Maybe that's another test to see how much people still care.
That, and I think they just don't want to make a GameCube virtual console thing because
Well-
it'd probably take up too much fucking space.
Then
I
I don't think
that in part is Nintendo hating resellers and be like, oh,
Yeah.
we're gonna fucking kill your profit by re-releasing this game and making it worthless.
Yeah. Which I also have a theory that Intelligent Systems just forgot how to make a Paper Mario.
Yeah.
I mean, they've kind of forgotten how to make a Fire Emblem at this point. So I don't know if that's a hot take or
Man, I wonder what fucking direction they're gonna go with Fire Emblem now. If they're not gonna do, I mean, I'm sure they are doing remakes, but no, that's a whole another episode too. Maybe eventually we'll do a Fire Emblem episode. That'd be kind of cool. Take forever, but it'd be cool.
We'd have to separate it by game.
Oh yeah,
Because Awakening alone could take an entire thing. Fates could take an
Awakening
entire
is so
thing.
good.
Three Houses. I mean, I could go on for about Three Houses for hours.
Echoes
I could talk
is
about
so
Echoes a
fucking
lot.
good.
Yep.
Echoes is amazing.
Yep.
Echoes is good. The
More
less
voice cracks.
I don't like Engage, but that's me.
That's a whole.
Um,
Holy shit! That's a whole other episode. Hey, that's it. That's the Mario and Luigi series. Everybody, yeah, we've talked about all of them. If anybody wants to talk to us about the Mario and Luigi series, where can they hit you guys up or listen to your shows?
Well, you can find pretty much all my shows at Linktree/The Barber Who Games. You can also find them over on the GNC Podcast Network Discord server. It's a wacky place where we talk about Kermit the Frog.
Kermit the Frog.
Yeah, check out GNC 3DO Experience and Geek Addicts though.
I love how each fucking server has their own dumb, goofy thing. Like, what is it? Pixel Project Radio is all about Garfield. Yours is Kermit. Superpod Saga is all about crows.
Retro Hangover is Dick Dragons.
Yeah, Dick Dragons. Dave is all about the like sicko guy.
Yeah.
The sicko guy.
Chris, your fucking server has so much shit.
I have no idea what the fuck is going on. I've been so
it's that-
busy at work that I don't know what's going on in my Discord.
It's just that Sonic and Mario gif that appears every now and then. My favorite thing ever was
that's
Will.
Will.
Matt's
The license to Will. What a fucking dude. I love
my
him.
favorite thing ever is Matt's over there now, and Matt saw that. Well, Matt encountered Burger for the first time, which was funny to watch. But he also that Sonic GIF appeared, and Matt did not know how to process it. He was like, "What the fuck is this?"
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah,
I remember one.
That GIF upsets me, and Will knows it upsets me, so he just posts it whenever it's convenient for him.
I remember that one fucking time. It was me, licensed to Will, and Thrack and a bunch of other dudes in Chris's server. We were talking about making like a Shrek prequel or sequel or something. And holy fuck, great time. Hey Chris, where can people hit you up?
So Add a Novel Console on every platform, on every podcast streaming platform, even Audible. And social media is not Parler, because Parler's dead. But everywhere else we're there. So and if you want to join our Discord, we do have a pinned tweet on our Twitter where you can get an unlimited invite. So yeah, come see the fucking Mario and Sonic GIF. God, fucking Will.
Oh man. All right. Thank you, listeners, for tuning into this episode. Thank you, Bill and Chris, for hopping on. Listeners, check out their shows, check out their Discords, check out Kermit the Frog and Sonic or whatever with crows. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.
See you later.
Chris, say bye.
Bye.